We are talking about the human civilization as we know it. And my deepest fear is that we've said, oh, it's going to be bad, but that we haven't actually let ourselves realize that we are on the edge of a precipice and we're about to go over. The discussion isn't really about stopping climate change. The climate is changing. So the question is, how are we, the human species, changing with it? And that we're navigating towards connection, compassion, and love instead of fear, anger, and violence.
I think it's the biggest challenge we have. And I think what is very clear is that we have the technology to solve a lot of the problems. And we have a lot of the answers already in place. But change just takes a long time, and it takes a lot of people, and it takes a lot of energy. But right now we're kind of at the beginning of a lot of these large changes. And so we have to remember when the change seems small, that getting the ball rolling takes so much more energy than keeping it going.
Well, everything's interconnected. I mean, the foundation of our whole ecosystem is at risk right now because of climate change and the impacts of human activity that are creating a warming planet that is, here we see locally more than ever.
Collectively as humans, I think we've made some really poor choices in how we are carrying on to live. And I think that what we need to do is really be conscious of how we are interacting in the world. So what food sources we're gathering, what things we're buying, how local we're purchasing, all of those things are really important. And I think that if individually we make those choices, we can do one thing better at a time and at least be conscious of what our choices are. I think that's really important.
A lot of people in our communities were talking about plastic pollution. We had groups from this area in the Comox Valley, Glaskiddy and Denman and Hornby Island talking about single-use plastic bans, about getting to zero waste plastic and how we were going to do that. So that conversation started here in our riding. People got educated, they got concerned, and then it grew beyond our riding and they started a campaign that ran across this country. And the government made a commitment to at least ban single-use plastics and take action. So it shows what community-led initiatives and advocacy can do when we work together, we stand together, we educate our communities. But here we are at Ground Zero, we've made a huge impact on how we're going to take this issue on, and I know that we're going to lead on a number of other issues, and we can count on young people to be leading that.
I mean, last year there was this huge rise on social media of youth stepping forward where adults aren't. And starting organizations, starting movements, one in particular, Greta Thunberg. Her movement has taken place all across the world now. We modeled our protests around what she's been doing, and we usually strike in solidarity when she strikes as well. My organization is Youth Environmental Action. We're a local youth group dedicated to empowering youth and taking action against the changing climate in our community. Our first protest, May 3rd of last year, we had 300 people, which at that point was the largest peaceful demonstration in our district's history, so we broke the record. Then our next protest after that, which was on September 27th, we broke the record again with 3,000 people.
I'm very hopeful. I look at my 6-year-old and I am hopeful that he will never have to even think about what's happening to our planet because we will all have taken care of it by then. That's what I really hope. And if you ever want to feel inspired to be around like-minded people who are trying to do something on a daily basis is really, really what makes the difference, and that's what I get to do every day I come into the store. I'm the owner of Local Refillery. This is my business here. It's a zero-waste grocery store and coffee house. The Refillery is a place where you can come in and buy organic, healthy food and package free. So you're bringing in your own container and refilling that hopefully many, many times. The whole concept of it is that we're trying to reduce packaging and also give a lot of variety to people so that they can choose a healthier option for the planet and for themselves. I really wanted a place that people who are like-minded could come together and chat about ways that every day we can do things better for the planet. And I wanted it to be fun and a really beautiful environment to make it easy for people to live this way.
I'm really inspired by the work of Joanna Macy. She has this whole program called The Work That Reconnects, and a lot of it is about ecological grief that we carry. Almost everyone I know who cares a lot about these these things deals with major depression and mental health, and like I really struggle with that. And I try and, you know, I'm working on a bioluminescent glow stick, and it's really fun, and it makes me so happy to work on this project. And so for me, like that's been kind of part of my own healing. My project is called the Nyoka Light Wand, and it is currently a non-toxic reusable glow stick that's powered with bioluminescence. And right now the company is just starting, and so we're working to continue to do product development to make a light wand that would be fully compostable and actually healing for the soil microbiome wherever it degrades. 500 million plastic glow sticks are made every year, which is a crazy number. And it would be really cool if we could at least solve that one problem. I don't feel empowered when I am living in a place where I feel scared all the time. You know, I think like hope is so important. Even if we think that it's not going to lead anywhere, it enables us to do something, and then we feel like we're the kind of people who can do something, you know, and it's such a kind of tidal wave effect in that way.
One thing I would like to add about the community is that there is a lot of change taking place locally. We have so many organizations, Lush Valley, Project Watershed, tons of others that I'm forgetting, but there is so much change and education and mutual understanding among people that live in the valley that is really, really amazing.
Each of us have a role to play when it comes to lowering our emissions, and you know, whether it be through active transportation and modes of transportation, how we get around, of course renewable energy and supporting renewable energy in our communities, but all levels of government and individuals all play a very important role when it comes to how we're going to take on this important issue.
I hope everybody hears when we have these big conversations about, you know, climate change as a whole, is that it's very easy to feel like there is no hope. And I really believe that once you get through the acceptance of what's actually happening to our planet, that there is something that each of us can do on a daily basis to actually make a difference. Every one of our choices, where we're traveling, what we're eating, what we're actually doing for work, how far we're driving, all of these things, collectively, they really do make a difference. So that's my message.